Yo.
What's good, YouTube? I'm back with another reaction. I'm going to react to Baton Rouge Deadliest Year, Vultures versus Bleedas. Now, I think this one of them dudes who be speaking on Baton Rouge who don't know nothing about what he talking about. But we finna, you know what I'm saying? We about to see. We about to see if you know what he talking about.
Glorify or glamorize the gang lifestyle. Every effort has been made to remove anything from this video that is against YouTube's community guidelines, including swearing, violence, drug use, and firearms. But if you'd like to see a fully uncut version of this video with everything I cannot show you on YouTube, then head on over to patreon.com/traplord.
He don't show his face.
Or Ross, where you can watch all of my biggest documentaries uncut for just $2. But if you're not into that, just hit the subscribe button and enjoy.
Is this the nigga who was talking about Youngboy?
The rest of the video. Thank you. As I recently covered in my video, Youngboy, Real Killer or Fake Gangster, the huge popularity of this Louisiana native has brought an unprecedented amount of attention to his hometown of Baton Rouge, the capital of the state, with fans of gangster rap becoming fascinated by his violent portrayals of the raging gang war in the city that had previously been largely invisible to those following the rap scene. Besides a few other...
Y'all hear the little shooting things in the back? This nigga really edited the shit out of this video.
that had previously been largely invisible to those following the rap scene. Besides a few other local talents like Boosie, who unfortunately ended up losing much of his... Besides a few other local talents like Boosie...
Nah, that's an AI. That ain't Boo. That's an AI gang.
Who unfortunately ended up losing much of his career to the notorious Louisiana prison system. Generally, Baton Rouge has been overlooked by mainstream followers of gangster rap in favor of cities with more famous gang cultures like Chicago and Los Angeles. As a result of numerous cases and a lengthy period restricting him to house arrest, since 2020, Youngboy has been mostly staying out of Baton Rouge after catching numerous cases in the city and in other states. So, as a result, for Baton Rouge, after catching numerous cases in the city and in
If Youngboy not guilty of Sunday said following arrest of 16 on drug gun charges. NBA Youngboy investigated for allegedly assaulted pistol whipping Texas man. Damn. NBA Youngboy taken it to FBI custody in Los Angeles.
Other states. So, as a result, for the past few years, Louisiana's most wanted rapper is actually living a calmer family life in a luxury Utah mansion while recording tons of music throughout his house arrest. However, while Youngboy has been gone, enjoying the safety of house arrest in Utah, the gang war on the streets of Baton Rouge has continued to escalate and claim lives, with
This is not Baton Rouge.
record-breaking murder rates making the city seem completely out of control in recent years, with those rates peaking in
Baton Rouge Deadliest Year. These are 149 lives lost to gun violence in 2021.
2021, when the city experienced
Baton Rouge most murderous year on the record. How gun violence surged in pandemic shit. That's a lie. When Katrina happened, that bitch was up. Had 7 murders in one day in that bitch.
Experienced its deadliest year on record.
Baton Rouge has a gang problem.
Based on our conversations with our intelligence personnel, our law enforcement partners, and our Truce Initiative, we have around 8 groups or gangs that are actively, we believe, engaged in violence in the city of Baton Rouge. Made more than 3,100 felony arrests this year, 355 juveniles, and we've
y'all don't understand. In other states, this shit way worse.
Seized more than 1,366 firearms.
And if that wasn't bad enough, the Baton Rouge Police Department's street crime unit has recently come under fire for serious claims of corruption.
Latest investigation into Baton Rouge police, 4 officers facing charges of corruption in connection to a beating and tasing incident.
Even being accused of torturing suspects in a secret warehouse labeled the Brain.
No, swear to God, all this going on in Baton Rouge. I ain't know this. I ain't know niggas was taken in to be investigated. Niggas getting tortured. I'd have ran right out that door right there. I'm gone. See ya.
Brave Cave.
After lead investigator Scotty Hunter and the WFBI team exposed allegations of police misconduct in a secretive garage called the Brave Cave.
In short,
I ain't lie, that nigga ugly as a bitch.
Exposed allegations of police misconduct in a secret
It look like ODB.
garage called the Brave Cave.
In short, the gangland of Baton Rouge seems like a deadly hellscape that anyone would surely escape if given the chance. Unfortunately, despite all of the money, fame, and opportunities that Youngboy's many affiliates from his NBA and 4K trade crews now have at their disposal, their deep roots in the city's violent underworld continues to make them prime targets for violent attacks. And as the years have gone by, a whole new generation of street-affiliated youngsters have come up out of Baton Rouge, hungry to prove
a mecca for rap has merged in the birthplace of jazz and blues. Edgy rhymes and Manton from cities like Baton Rouge spill from a crucible of an economic struggle and enfranchisement. God damn, why they using these fat ass words?
Themselves both in the streets and in the city's now buzzing rap scene. Success in the rap game could well be their ticket out of the war zone if only they're able to get out before it's too late. And sadly, one of the brightest stars to come out of the city since Youngboy, an 18-year-old aspiring rapper named True Bleeda, would end up losing his life right when he was about to make his breakthrough in early 2022. His tragic fate stemmed from events that took place during the deadly year of 2021, when an all-out war broke out between two factions, taking place in both the streets and in music.
Hi, my name is Southern Comfort, but you can call me SoCo. Pinky's out.
How the fuck he know all this? This don't mean that it's true though. But this nigga, somebody might be ready.
So today, we're going to take a closer look at the deadly war that's still raging in Baton Rouge today since Youngboy left the city behind. And we're going to work out why this overlooked city really is one of the most dangerous places in America to be a rapper.
Baton Rouge has a gang problem.
And while crime knows no age, the number of juveniles arrested for violent crimes is skyrocketing, leaving us with one question. How did we get here?
Police have identified the two people killed in yesterday's drive-by shooting near the Mall of Louisiana.
Shit, my brother, my little brother, first my big brother.
How did he die? He got killed at my birthday party.
Cannot go home to mama after you've taken an AR-15.
And we've learned that there is no simple or single answer.
Over the course of this program, we're going to take you into the streets and to the neighborhoods to figure out the root cause of what is behind all of this.
They thinking this shit just started. Man, this shit been going on for years.
Despite contemporary rap fans' attention on Baton Rouge and its gangs, the interest in the city has largely come off the back of the enormous success of Youngboy during the late 2010s. But even before Youngboy put BR on the map, gangs had been running the streets for years, and reports of escalating gang activity and crime have placed the city amongst the most dangerous in the country all the way back to at least the 1980s. The reasons for the gang problem are numerous and complex, from the generational trauma created by a history of exceptionally
Researchers have noted that slaves working on this. Wait, hold up. What the fuck this got to do with us? Slaves working on the sugar plantation in Louisiana working. Hold on, gang. What the fuck this got to do with us? What the fuck slaves got to do with us? They have buried conditions. Am I tripping? Or this white boy trying to be funny?
Cruel slavery in the state to the extreme racism, discrimination, and
1890 in spite of 16 a lot of people. Damn, I didn't know that. Casey V. Ferguson. Y'all understand this ain't got nothing to do with this. This white boy trying to be funny.
And segregation during the Jim Crow era, which in many ways begun in Louisiana, which in modern times placed Louisiana as one of the poorest states in the country, and Baton Rouge itself being one of the poorest areas in Louisiana. Moreover, minorities, including African American Rouge itself being
God damn. Charles, you know you gotta make only $23,000 a year to live in Baton Rouge? You knew that? That's crazy.
being one of the poorest areas in Louisiana. Moreover, minorities, including African Americans, have significantly more people living below the poverty line compared to the city's white inhabitants, despite white people in fact being the minority within Baton Rouge. Combine this with the fact that Louisiana commonly has the highest incarceration state in the nation, which affects particularly the black population, further enabling their marginalization in the state. It's no surprise then that the deeply the black population, further enabling their
Damn. What a great time to sit up.
marginalization in the state. It's no surprise then that the deeply disenfranchised black youth in Baton Rouge have for decades turned to gangs in order to find meaning and structure in their lives. However, as mentioned, something has been different in recent years. The city has seen unprecedented murder rates that have largely been influenced by gang activity.
Damn, bitch.
The city has seen unprecedented murder rates that have largely been influenced by gang activity, creating a deadly cycle of reprisals that just continues to escalate.
Crime touches every corner of our city. Day or night, predators lurk among us.
And while crime knows no age, the number of juveniles arrested for violent crimes is skyrocketing, leaving us with one question: how did we get here? And we've learned that there is no simple or single answer.
Over the course of this program, we're going to take you into the streets and to the neighborhoods to figure out the root cause of what is behind all of this. And 2021 could lead to another dubious distinction. Last year, the city set a record with 117 murders. This year, 100 people have been murdered. That's just through mid-August. 10 of the victims, 17 years old or younger. In the same time period last year, 80 people were killed.
Even more alarming is the number of juveniles arrested for murder. 10 so far this year. Compare that to 5 for all of last year and 8 in 2019.
There's a lot of allegations.
It's not really no real big numbers.
Right now, a lot of arrests that are made involving juvenile violent crime and deaths and guns. And you know, that's the wrong thing to be happening with our young children.
Bro ain't got no lips. God damn, what his lips at?
And that's the wrong thing to be happening with our
shit like a doe.
young children.
The WBRZ investigative unit counting nearly a dozen juveniles arrested just this year for high-profile crimes around the capital city. The ones include the ambush at a College Drive apartment complex pool that left a toddler dead. 2 teens were arrested in that case. Also this year, a shooting at the IHOP on Segan Lane. A teen among those arrested implicated in that murder. A 15-year-old charged in the carjacking of a nurse at Our Lady of the Lake. Also in July, a teen arrested for killing a dad in Zachary after they exchanged gunfire in his home. That teen was there to see his girlfriend.
You cannot go home to mama after you've taken an AR-15 and coax someone to come out at night to rob them and then shoot them and try to kill them, and then go home to your mom and eat cornflakes.
And it's in this deadly environment that a young rapper by the name of Bleedas entered the Baton Rouge rap scene and begun making a name for himself.
We live in a world filled with media streams, social platforms, and devices.
That shit ain't got nothing to do with this. Vultures versus Bleedas. What the fuck is he
True
talking
Bleedas,
about?
real name Dante Dor.
What is this nigga talking about, you alright? We're not letting this nigga slide like that. What the fuck is he talking about, you alright?
Dorsey was an 18-year-old rapper who was known for his versatile style that reminded many of the city's biggest star, Youngboy. Arguably, True Bleeda also showcased a similar amount of potential as a young Youngboy, making songs that delivered both highly aggressive bars while at other times mixing rapping and singing with heartfelt stories about the rough life on the streets of Baton Rouge. Unfortunately, True Bleeda's young life and his promising rap career would come to an untimely end before it had even properly begun, when he and his friend were gunned down in their hometown on the 25th of February, 2022.
Police have identified the two people killed in yesterday's drive-by shooting near the Mall of Louisiana, 18-year-old Dante Dorsey and 19-year-old Clifton Lindsay, both from Baton Rouge.
To understand the tragic story of True Bleeda and how it's connected to the broader street politics of Baton Rouge that connect all the way to Youngboy and his friends, we need to go all the way back to the beginning of his young life. True Bleeda hailed from the Glen Oaks neighborhood in North Baton Rouge, one of the beginning of his young life. True Bleeda hailed from the Glen Oaks neighborhood.
Town. This area right here. This where Youngboy from. Y'all could cut Portetta out. Portetta not a part of us. We ain't claiming that shit. Yeah. This was right up in here. This where Youngboy from. Well, Booster from like, they need to fucking label this shit. Booster like from over here. See that shit say across the tracks. Kevin Gates roamed over here too. Kevin Gates from the South. I don't give a fuck what he's saying. He blew up out of Baton Rouge. He ain't blew up out no fucking New Orleans. He swear to God, he ain't from no fucking New Orleans. Who else big out there? Fredo Bang say he from the South, but Fredo Bang really like used to be over up in here. You know what I'm saying? This where they let homie died at. Somewhere up in here. The Bleedas, somewhere up in here. This where Tiny from, right up in the one up in here. This area right here. Metro. Who else? Who's some rappers? Sherwood Martin, Main Music and TC used to roam right up here. This shit really like this. This across Florida Boulevard. Like, see across here, y'all? These two different types. Like, it's bad over here, but it ain't up like it's over here. Over here, it's up. Like, you gonna die over here. Over here, you might get jacked, might get in a little fight, you know. Nigga will kill you, but you gotta really, you know. This side over here, like where niggas be getting money at and shit. Look how, but if y'all pay close attention, look how small this bitch is. Look how close it is from where Youngboy from to where the Bleedas from. This what, oh yeah, this where Venom from. This the Vultures land over here. I forgot about the niggas. This the Vultures land right here. Why Beezy, right here. Jungle Music Lair, right here. Bleedas, yeah, Bleedas, they all from right up in this area. Zion City, Glen Oaks area.
In North Baton Rouge, one of the many impoverished and crime-ridden areas.
And that's facts. That bitch used to be like the place to be. But now they like, That bitch ran all the way down in the ground.
In the city's north side.
Details have been released about a fatal feud in Baton Rouge's Glen Oaks neighborhood yesterday.
Person in serious condition tonight after being shot this afternoon in the Glen Oaks neighborhood.
Tonight, our team is learning more about the man facing charges after a deadly shootout in the Glen Oaks area.
This neighborhood was also home to the late rapper G Money, good friend and label mate of Youngboy's top surviving op, Fredo Bang. And these two can even be seen together in the studio.
That nigga say Youngboy top surviving op. Damn, nigga making this shit all about YB.
Mate of Youngboy's top surviving op, Fredo Bang. And these two can even be seen together in the studio in an old video from when True Bleeder was barely a teenager. Also in that video is a man named Larry from a Glen Oaks based rap collective called
Jungle Music Larry, boy, you making it into this motherfucker now. They talking about you. This y'all time. If y'all don't know, this y'all time to start dropping music.
Jungle Music, which played an important role in the life of a young True Bleeder. Despite being close to True Bleeder and
this nigga, somebody ragging. Fuck that. Somebody is telling this nigga all this. How he know all this? Hey, Larry, if I was you, I'll start dropping music right now. I'll start dissing this nigga right now. If y'all smart, Baton Rouge, he's shining the light on y'all right now. Go ahead and start dropping fucking music. He's shining the light. Do not try to act like the police after you and all that. Nigga, drop music. Fuck that shit. If them labels gonna protect you if you somebody.
G Money, Larry was also seemingly a childhood friend of Youngboy's best friend and NBA co-founder OG33, with this showing just how interconnected all of the people in this story were before the war in the streets tore them apart. In 2014, when True Bleeder was still just a kid, a tragic event took place that would permanently alter his life. On the 28th of March, during a birthday
She about to bring up mine.
A tragic event
I don't know him, it was just when he died, it was big in Baton Rouge.
And took place that would permanently
I ain't gonna lie,
alter
shout out to Jungle Music. Them niggas did a good job of keeping his name alive.
His life. On the 28th of March, during a birthday party in concert at the Baker Civic Center just north of Baton Rouge, a teenager named Nakadron Williams would suddenly open fire on the crowd of partying teenagers, killing 3 and wounding 1. These victims would include the big brother of True Bleeder, called Mun, real name Kendall Camone Dorsey, as well as a good friend of Fredo Bang, Crazy Trey, real name DeAndre Jermaine Clay, Kendall Camone Dorsey, wounding 1. These
I didn't know that shit.
Victims would include the big brother of True Bleeder, called Mun, real name Kendall Camone Dorsey, as well as a good friend of Fredo Bang, Crazy Trey, real name DeAndre Jermaine Claiborne. During Williams' trial, it would be revealed that the 3 people killed were in fact unintended targets, while the intended target of the shooting was the 4th surviving victim who had had a confrontation with Williams shortly before the shooting. However, the
I ain't gonna lie. All y'all niggas that starting to go to jail and all that shit, stop talking to them lawyers too. If y'all go up in there, just be like, I ain't do shit. Cause y'all seen how them lawyers brought a gun out, huh? This shit all about money and they all working together.
Was the 4th surviving victim who had had a confrontation with Williams shortly before the shooting. However, the shooting would still seemingly become tied to both True Bleeder's neighborhood of Glen Oaks as well as Fredo Bang, as news would report how Williams, aka Scrappy, was part of a gang called Acres Farm, who were based about 5 miles north of Glen Oaks, separated by the Baton Rouge metropolitan.
Really? I ain't know he was from over there.
Airport. Rapper Lit B from Acres Farm would seemingly shout out Scrappy in a song, and witnesses would tell how Williams had also been involved in earlier related altercations leading up to this shooting, with at least one of these had also been from Acres Farm would seemingly shout
2800, yeah, you know I fuck with Scrappy. Busting at your face, he ducking like he dead.
Out Scrappy in a song, and witnesses
that boy told police the incident was possibly retaliation stemming from a fight his friend Meecha had. That boy told the police incident was possibly retaliation stemming from a fight his friend Meecha had with a friend of Scrappy. During that fight, Scrappy's friend was hit in the head with a board. The report stated. Nigga, what?
would tell how Williams had also been involved in earlier related altercations leading up to this shooting, with at least one of these happening around.
Earlier that day, the boy told police Scrappy and several other black males in a red car confronted him while he was walking near the corner of Plank Road in Montesano Avenue. The boy said he fled after a short fight, but heard them yell, "We gonna get you and we gonna meet you."
The Glen Oaks neighborhood. Moreover, it would turn out that this concert/birthday party was actually for Fredo Bang, real name Frederick Givens, although the local news would actually misspell his name. Fredo Bang would even later open up about losing his friend Crazy Trey that night during a Vlad TV interview.
How did he die? He got killed at my birthday party.
He got killed?
It was supposed to be my show, but they had labeled it as my birthday party.
He got killed at your birthday party?
Yeah.
You got shot?
Yeah.
The news would also mention messages that had been sent between Fredo and a girl, where the girl had allegedly revealed the identity of the shooter to him. Now, this is significant because the girl had allegedly revealed the identity of the shooter to him. Now, this is significant because Snapchat messages between
this nigga in my paperwork. When you get time, you get a discovery packet with everybody who said something. When they went through his phone and led the police to me, he signed delete the info. He needs to stop writing the info, and it was still in his phone. He could have deleted it before they went through his phone. Thug, no nigga who. Oh, he's saying like Thug, no nigga who stepping gonna keep info like that. I feel you, nigga. He should have deleted it, but he probably ain't know they was gonna go through his phone. He probably just came from question. This ain't nothing new, nigga. Vincent, he was way in Paris before he came home. Man, come on, really, read what you see. And see if it makes sense. Anybody know if you suspect of knowing about a murder, they're gonna go through your phone. Got a point?
Between incarcerated Williams, aka Scrappy, and another person would later be posted on Reddit, where Scrappy seemingly accuses Fredo Bang of being a snitch because he didn't delete incriminating messages from his phone about the shooting. There would also be photos posted on Reddit about paperwork that seems to list Fredo Bang as a witness in the case, although the document also states that Fredo did not identify the shooter to police. Now, for the record, Fredo Bang is definitely not snitching, and as far as I'm aware, he has kept it solid throughout his career, despite his ops constantly trying to discredit him. But regardless, Scrappy later on did several live streams from prison during which he would diss Fredo Bang and accuse him of snitching, even going through the paperwork.
Frederick Givens on my paperwork right here. That's his name right there. You see it right there. Now, if you see right here, when it says Givens then asked her to communicate with the police, and this is his number, 225-955-0916. You think he still got the same number? And it says, the message has been stamped. I mean, he screenshotted my picture and sent it to the people. I ain't even do that.
What's his Instagram name at?
His Instagram name is on here is Fredo Bang. Right there, I'll tell you right there. Fredo_Bang. I repeat, Fredo_Bang.
Fredo would then seemingly respond to these allegations, calling them lies. In prison, Scrappy would also associate himself with Fredo Bang's enemies, such as people from BBG, including BBG Block, the brother of BBG Baby Joe, who is actually very close with Youngboy. Meanwhile, to a young true bleeder and his neighborhood, the death of his big brother Mun was a huge loss, and in an old video posted on Jungle Music Larry's YouTube channel shortly after Mun's death, a young true bleeder can be seen hanging with a large group of older guys, all gathered to pay respects to his fallen brother.
Recipe Simone, baby. I love you, boy. Remember that.
Y'all know Lil RT? This was Lil RT before Lil RT.
Recipe Simone, baby. I love you, boy. Remember that.
The death of Mun would push True Bleeda to take music seriously, and so he and his partners would create a crew called Munway in his honor.
Bro, when our cousin died at 15, so it's like, that's why we came up with the Munway shit. That was his name, Mun.
Yeah, that's why he started rapping, like.
That's why he started rapping and taking that shit more harder, so we came up with the Munway shit.
As True Bleeda got a bit older, he would begin to release music under the name Munway D, still being heavily associated with the jungle music movement from Glen Oaks. And even though he was very young, his music would from the very beginning would show a great potential for talent as well as maturity far beyond his years. However, unfortunately, it's not as easy as simply leaving the streets behind and focusing on music. And as his career begun, so too with the escalation of a deadly war between two of Baton Rouge's most deadly but lesser known gangs. Losing his brother at a young age wouldn't make True Bleeda only
Don't talk about the fucking Vultures, god damn. I feel like he trying to make this bitch bout. The fuck?
Motivated in pursuing music, it would also make him yearn for revenge and turn to the streets. Perhaps it was the combination of the two that would eventually lead True Bleeda and his partners, such as his older brother Oak Boy Coco, also known as Co-Bleeda.
Shit, my brother, my little brother. Bro, first my big brother Mun, he had passed away 2014. Then my little brother just took out with their rap shit.
And his cousin, Munway Day, later known as Real Bleeda, to come up with a new name for their clique, the Bleedas, or originally True Bleedas, with this name apparently reflecting the struggles that they had gone through since a young age and their dedication for their movement, putting their blood into this.
We young, bro, like we the youngest, you know what I'm saying? So, just out doing petty, but it's like, we in the hood, like mind you, my other cousin, his brother, he died at 15. And our partner, he died at 14, like, so came up with that 15, 14 shit, so like we just in front of the store. I'm like, bitch, we gonna be True Bleeders. I just be thinking of like a lot of shit, cause like this shit be meaning a lot. So I'm like, we're gonna be True Bleeders, you hear me? Like we True Bleeders. He like, oh yeah, bitch. He f***ing with it, but like he showed me he f***ing with it and took it more serious and changed all his Instagram name to True Bleeder and really start rapping and going in and like, you know what I'm saying?
So
but
you gave him the name. You came up with the name.
Yeah. In the following years, the Bleedas would form relationships with numerous other gangs, groups, and neighborhoods in Baton Rouge, such as the jungle music movement from Glen Oaks that they had started with, which nowadays is mainly still represented by Jungle Music Larry. They're also heavily clicked up with people from the nearby Zion City neighborhood, led in music by the rapper T.G. Commas, who is one of the hottest up-and-coming rappers in Baton Rouge right now and partnered up with the Bleedas under their Trench Business Collective. Bleedas are also associated with Fredo Bang's TBG, aka Top Boy Gorilla's crew, the group that famously went to war with Youngboy and his NBA 4K Trey crews after the death of friend-turned-enemy G Money, TBG's most promising rapper. The roots of the affiliation between the Bleedas and TBG dates all the way back to the night when Fredo Bang's good friend Crazy Trey was killed together with True Bleeda's brother. Another rapper affiliated with TBG and connected to the Bleedas, known as Hot Boy Do, is currently incarcerated on murder charges. Now, the Bleedas are also known to have beef with
on what charges? He incarcerated on what charges? Yeah, I didn't know that.
Boy Do is currently incarcerated on murder charges. Now, the Bleedas are also known to have beef with various gangs in Baton Rouge, but one in particular that's most prominent is their feud with a gang called the Vultures. The two gangs have been in a years-long war that's been waged both in the street and in music.
Time for y'all to start dropping music, man.
The Vultures hail from the Scotlandville community located in the northeast of Baton Rouge, but their hood on the southern end of Scotlandville is more commonly known as Bankstown, which is separated from Glen Oaks and Zion City by the Interstate 110 that runs through the city. Vultures also have some well-known rappers that rep the name YKWHIF, which stands for You Know What It's Hittin' For. People like YKWIHF.
Look how AI this picture is, bro. I ain't gonna lie, this nigga in his bag.
V and his cousin YKWHIF Carr. Interestingly, V and Carr actually used to be friends with True Bleeda's fallen brother Mun before their beef with the Bleedas. Both were also seemingly part of the Jungle Music Collective that both Mun and True Bleeda were associated with.
When You Know What It's Hittin' For used to be in jungle music. Y'all know how this shit go. Everybody that's beef used to really be cool.
But Vultures are not the only gang that the Bleedas have beef with, and there's one gang in particular that represents a link between the story of True Bleeda and Youngboy, as well as his NBA/4K Trey partners. This group hails from the Sherwood Forest neighborhood and is represented by B-Way Youngie, who is Youngboy's actual little brother both sharing the same father. The gang has been known by different names, such as Goblin Gang or DHG, that stands for Dark-Hearted Goblins, or sometimes Six the Crew. While B-Way has not officially been part of Youngboy's NBA label, he can often be seen hanging out and making music with NBA or 4K Trey members like Ben 10, BBG Baby Joe, and Big B. B-Way's beef with Bleedas stems back to at least 2019, when he and his brother were arrested in relation to a shooting that killed 17-year-old Javon Brown.
Two brothers wanted in the deadly shooting of a student walking home from school are now in custody.
Javon was allegedly associated with another gang with ties to the Bleedas called 300, not to be confused with the Chicago gang of the same name. This made B-Way an enemy of the Bleedas too.
Oh, my brother just stayed English. Tell me them, boy, nigga run. Nigga run, boy. Side right, nigga. Nigga run, boy. Side right, nigga. With my ice on, man. Hop out like this. Hop out. No pistol with me. Hop out with this.
And there are also other NBA and 4K Trey members with ties to the Vultures, including Ben 10, who is said to actually have family ties with some members, as well as Herm and Big B, who both hail.
This back when YB was really taking off right here. That boy Herm look young as a pig.
From Bankstown.
Bro, where we at? Where we at with it right now, man?
Bankstown, USA, you hear me? That's how we bang. You hear me?
That's what it is, bro.
Clearly, Baton Rouge is a complicated and intricate network of interconnected gangs, all of which have some kind of beef by association, which often makes it hard to determine exactly why or who might have caused the beef to kick off to begin with. So, let's take a closer look at what it was that could have truly toppled the first domino in this chain reaction of devastating murders.
I just got the perfect gift for my boyfriend that has everything that he needs for 25% off at Man's.
Shut up. Hey y'all, don't be believing this nigga video. Nobody really knows what's going on in this shit but them dudes that's involved in this shit. Don't be believing all this shit.
It's not exactly clear when.
I'm from Baton Rouge and I'm cool with some of these niggas people and all type of shit, and I still don't know what the fuck really going on. Some of my people is cool with these niggas people. Some of my friends is some of these niggas people. I still don't know what the fuck really going on. Don't nobody be knowing what's going on with this shit but them dudes. Don't believe this shit.
Or why the beef between the Bleedas and Vultures originally started, with some Reddit detectives telling theories of a complicated...
The Bleedas clicked up with Sherwood. Sherwood was beefing with Banks. Yeah. Sherwood and Banks beef go way back to TC and Main days, too. Yeah. Main music is from Sherwood. TC is from TC from the field. That's over there by Banks and all that shit there. That shit cap. Them niggas ain't beefing. I think him and WAP had a little feud, but they got that. I think they did a song and all type of shit together. They got that shit understood. The Bleedas never clicked up with no fucking Sherwood. I don't know. They gonna have to prove that one to me because I don't remember that.
Web of affiliations that led to both factions eventually picking their sides. However, what we do know is that during
what they trying to say is probably when Jungle Music Larry Jungle Music Larry went to Bel Air, that don't mean he clicked up with them niggas, son. Cause niggas, this shit ain't on here. But what niggas don't know, Larry and Vay had a fight at Bel Air. That's what niggas don't know. See, this nigga, he don't know what he talking about. Matter of fact, I think if I ain't mistaken, I think 3-3 got one too. I don't know though. I ain't gonna speak on all that. I don't know. I don't know what really happened, but I know for sure Larry and Vay got in a fight.
Vultures originally started, with some Reddit detectives telling theories.
You from that record, you remember that video.
Of a complicated web of affiliations that led to both factions eventually picking their sides. However, what we do know is that during Baton Rouge's deadliest year of 2021, numerous killings would end up taking place that may well have a connection to these crews, eventually leading to the assassination of True Bleeda in the beginning of the following year.
Multiple people have been
2021, numerous killings would end up taking place that may well have a connection to these crews, eventually leading to the assassination of True Bleeda in the beginning of the following year.
Multiple people have been shot near the Mall of Louisiana this afternoon.
2 people are dead and 2 others are at the hospital right now getting treatment.
In the early hours of April the 23rd, 2021, a member of the Vultures called Zip, real name Aaron Batiste, had just celebrated his 29th birthday that night on the north side of Baton Rouge when he was shot by unknown assailants, later succumbing to his injuries in hospital.
Well, a man has died after an early morning shooting on Plank Road. Sheriff's deputies say Aaron Batiste was rushed to the hospital around 3 this morning and later died from his injuries.
Zip was a father of 2, and his murder left the family devastated. Questioning when the senseless violence in the city was going to stop. Meanwhile, members of the Vultures would mourn the loss their way.
Watch these, I don't know what they were, probably bitches. Moolah snaking at an all-time high. But if they play, I swear they gonna all die. You was too real, Zip. I can't read the whole thing because the shit blurred. Soldier hated on you. I guess them niggas soldier hated on you. Everything is everything. When you in the field first, we grieve, then we squeeze till we get a kill. He should have said till we put some shit in the hearse.
Vowing revenge in posts on social media. Later that year, the streets would heat up once again with a string of back-to-back shootings, all taking place in the month of October. On the 8th of
October, I ain't gonna lie, it was hectic around this time right here. Shit was going down.
October 2021, a man named Jamorius Ferguson, aka Gmo, was shot outside a home in East Baton Rouge when someone opened fire from a passing vehicle, injuring him seriously.
Rest in peace, Gmo, man. He was a fool with that camera.
Ferguson himself was reportedly not a gang member, but actually a member of the US Army, as well as a founder of several non-profits, including one that was named after him, aiming to help and support youths and young adults in Louisiana.
Hey,
however,
real community activist.
Gmo was also the big brother of V, a well-known Vulture member, and another well-known Vulture member called Dubug, who can commonly be seen alongside V in his music videos. The police would later note that they didn't consider Ferguson to have been—
They started showing this video. That dude look like Baton Rouge. They look like in the South.
in the intended target of the shooting, perhaps implying that V or Dubug may have been the intended targets. Sadly, on May the 5th, 2022, almost 7 months after the shooting, Ferguson would unfortunately succumb to his injuries and lose his life.
The 25-year-old died on May 5th from injuries he suffered from a drive-by shooting that happened last year.
Even with his passing taking place sometime later, the shooters in the gangs of Baton Rouge would not let up and continued causing havoc on the streets there. The shootings and killings around the two gangs had so far gathered relatively little attention, but only weeks after the shooting of Gmo in late October 2021, the war would become much more public, after the Vulture rapper YKWH-IF Carr was brutally murdered in a hotel parking lot.
According to police, 23-year-old Malachi Demelin was shot.
Brutally murdered in a hotel public, after the Vulture rapper YKWH-IF Carr was brutally murdered in a hotel parking lot.
According to police—
Why is he saying that like that? Is you know what is hidden for? Kyle, man, damn.
Rapper YKWH-IF Carr was brutally murdered.
Like he's saying, Kyle, bitch.
In a hotel parking lot.
According to police, 23-year-old Malachi Demelin was shot multiple times and was pronounced dead at the scene.
Carr, real name Maleka Demolin, had been releasing music together with—
This nigga said, alright, since I'm a YouTuber for that wreck, when I catch your bitch ass, I'm on that. I'm on that, nigga. Fuck you talking about,
parking lot.
According to police,
gotta represent Baton Rouge for this YouTube shit.
3-year-old Malachi Demelin was shot multiple times and was pronounced dead at the scene.
Carr, real name Maleka Demolin.
Maleka. That shit say Malachi, fuckboy. Maleka.
Had had been releasing music together with his cousin V since at least 2015. However, his life and career aspirations would be put to a hold in October 2020 when he would be charged with the second-degree murder of a man named Brandon Chapman. Chapman was also an aspiring rapper who went by the name BME Beezy, but not much else is publicly known about his connections to the streets in Baton Rouge. Fortunately for Carr, in March 2021, a grand jury would ultimately decide not to indict him.
Do you want to learn how to trade? My son, my daughter and I just finished putting on a comfort for our trading student.
You got this shit on camera?
As the case was seemingly determined to have been a matter of self-defense, with Carr allegedly defending himself against Chapman, who confronted Carr being with his ex. Unfortunately, in October 2021, himself against Chapman.
They dropped the charge because Carr was in a crib with a female and her ex came tripping. So dude tried to up on him and he killed dude.
The case was seemingly determined to have been a matter of self-defense, with Carr allegedly defending himself against Chapman, who confronted Carr being with his ex. Unfortunately, in October 2021, almost exactly a year after the death of Chapman, Carr himself would end up losing his life when he was shot in the parking lot of a Holiday Inn in a brutal assassination-style attack that, according to witnesses, sounded like he was shot with a fully automatic weapon or possibly a handgun with a switch. After Carr's death, Bleedas would often diss him publicly, calling him a diamond pack due to him always rocking a diamond grill. Rumors would also circulate online that the Bleedas had something to do with Carr's death, particularly after co-Bleeda would rap on his song Blow for Blow with Hot Boy Do, released in November 2022, some lyrics that many believe refer to Carr's killing.
Stupid tender dick ass nigga ain't got no brain and nigga silly. I hit up Kajay and Lil Do. Them niggas pulled up and let off 60. Now that was too specific, Coco. Yeah, that was too specific.
With Hot Boy Do, released in November 2022, some lyrics that many believe refer to Carr's killing. The streets were hot after the killing of Carr.
Y'all once again, don't believe this shit. You don't know if this true.
2022, some lyrics that many believe refer to Carr's killing. The streets were hot after the killing of Carr, and only a few days later, another young man would end up losing his life. On the 28th of October, around 10:30 in the morning, a man was shot and killed on West Catalpa Street on the east side of Baton Rouge.
Well, just a few hours ago, police say they responded to a shooting on West Catalpa Drive, where they say one male victim was shot and killed.
The victim would turn out to be a man named Jamonte Davis, an aspiring rapper who went by the name Mu Gotti. Mu Gotti was an alleged member of the gang SOG, or Sleep or Grind, yet another gang allegedly affiliated with the Bleedas, and his killing was considered to be a direct retaliation.
See how they trying to click them? Them dudes ain't click up. They just cool. They just cool. That's how that shit go in Baton Rouge. It's by affiliation. If I catch you with that nigga, that's your homeboy. That's not no. They didn't click up. Y'all don't even know that dude could have been. They could have been one of his cousins or something. They didn't. Stop saying click up. They didn't click up. See, that's how a nigga don't know what they talking about. They putting that shit like that. Them dudes did not click up, bro. Niggas just be knowing niggas. Niggas went to school with niggas. Niggas grew up with niggas. That's not how Baton Rouge get down. We don't get down on no. Right now, it's probably some gang shit because they labeling that, but that shit not really built like that. You see what I'm saying? So don't listen to this shit. Them dudes didn't click up, bro. Like, all right, see how this song here probably come about? They rappers. They doing the same shit. And they know him. So a nigga just like, man, let's get in the yo on some shit. They ain't saying, nigga, yo beef, my beef. But a nigga probably seeing them with them, like, you feel me? Like, oh, y'all niggas be together. So for me to get my message towards his ass, I'm gonna get
target of the shooting wounded, but his cousin dead.
The vehicle had been shot multiple times, and inside the vehicle we located a male that had been deceased from gunshot wounds.
That man was found in the passenger side of the truck. Authorities say the driver was also taken to the hospital with gunshot wounds. He's expected to survive.
The death of Marvin was a huge loss for Ben, and to celebrate his life, Ben and other 4K Trey members like B-Way and Who Gang D would wear custom clothes to his funeral, adorned with slime green, the color of their blood set, 4K Trey. And Ben would would later get a glowing chain in memory of his cousin. Many had speculated that the Bleedas might be responsible for this shooting, which they would seemingly hint at a few months later as Bleeda member 40 Glock U would rap on the song Gator Pack how somebody—
That's not no bleed. See what I'm saying? This nigga just be throwing niggas in shit.
He got killed, although the target was Ben. Ben would eventually reply to the dissing, saying how his cousin was not in the streets and therefore did not deserve to be killed.
Hey, my cousin was a football player. He ain't even carrying that gun. You kill somebody who didn't even like this for real.
The war between these lesser-known gangs had now touched a prominent member of Baton Rouge's most famous rap empire. So it would be no surprise then that a major tragedy would soon follow. Right before entering 2022, Ben 10 would get into a heated argument with True Bleeda on Clubhouse, during which Bleeda would accuse Ben of being a fake gangster who had never shot or killed anyone.
Gangsters on my shit, go get a hat. Who you ever shoot?
To which Ben would reply sarcastically,
Man, what the fuck? Niggas say, get your gangsta off my shit. Go get a hat. Who you ever killed? Bro, niggas from Baton Rouge talk funny, bro.
During which Bleeda would accuse Ben of being a fake gangster who had never shot or killed anyone.
Gangsters on my shit, go get a hat. Who you ever shoot?
To which Ben would reply, sarcastically agreeing.
I ain't kill nobody. Stop talking like that, Danny.
Then, on the 13th of January 2022, the Bleedas would drop perhaps their most disrespectful song and music video so far, called Pick Your Partner Up, aimed squarely at the Vultures. In the song, Co-Bleeda would seemingly reference again the murder of Carr, rapping how this murder shit is real and how he will switch the Vultures down to see if they can really fly, with this accompanied by an ad-lib imitating the sound of a gun with a switch. Unfortunately, only a few months later, tragedy would strike on the Bleedas side in a way that would shock even the people of Baton Rouge.
Police have identified the two people killed in yesterday's drive-by shooting near the Mall of Louisiana, 18-year-old Dante Dorsey and 19-year-old Clifton Lindsay, both from Baton Rouge.
Why they gotta say his name like Dante Dorsey? That's not how you say it. Deontay Dorsey, man.
Have identified the two people killed in yesterday's drive-by shooting near the Mall of Louisiana, 18-year-old Dante Dorsey and 19-year-old Clifton Lindsay, both from Baton Rouge.
Who at this point were beginning to get used to gangland killings happening in broad daylight. On the 25th of February 2022, just after 1 p.m, authorities
But when them niggas got killed there, y'all gotta understand, Baton Rouge really was under a wall. Cause what them niggas got shot at, don't none of that type of shit go on over there, nigga. That's like the good side of Baton Rouge. Like that, let me tell you how good it is. The police wouldn't even come over there. The sheriff would come over. If something happened, the sheriff would come over there.
Responded to reports of shots fired in the 6300 block of Bluebonnet Avenue near the Mall of Louisiana. They would arrive to find 4 men lying in the intersection, 2 wounded and 2 dead, along with a car riddled with bullet holes.
What we do know, there are 2 deceased here and 2 that were transported by EMS.
True Bleeda was later identified by his uncle as one of the deceased, and raw footage would be recorded of the aftermath of the murder, which is far too violent to show you on YouTube. The suspects in the shooting had apparently ditched their car after firing, escaping the scene in another vehicle. And just after the shooting, Baton Rouge police seemed to be already aware that the shooting had something to do with rival groups. And just like the killing of FBG Duck in Chicago a few years earlier, this was a bold shooting in the middle of the day in a part of town which was usually considered safe. The Mall of Louisiana was the biggest mall in the state and one of the most popular tourist spots in the city, this being yet another reminder of how rappers who come from the streets are rarely safe anywhere in their hometowns, even if they're able to move away from the initial war zone. Co-Bleeda would later open up about that day, saying in an interview how he felt that they had already been at the mall for too long, and how he tried to warn the others about somebody possibly setting them up.
While we in the mall, while we in that bitch, I'm telling all of them to little help, telling them like, son, ain't got niggas who really want to do us something, son. Like, take this serious, and we've been in it for too long.
After True Bleeda's death, his ops would immediately begin to diss him. Beway Youngie would post a story saying lol with a laughing emoji, and also seemingly troll everybody by liking a tribute post to Bleeda. Ben 10 would also participate in the dissing, filming himself walking in a mall while saying,
"We cannot go out like the other boys."
And he would also post himself on Instagram listening to True Bleeda's music. Bleeda member 54 Don Dada, on the other hand, would go live on Instagram, devastated at the loss, crying, while vowing for revenge.
I'ma fuck over you bitches.
His ops, on the other hand, would actually repost this video and ruthlessly make fun of him. NBA member Herm the Black Sheep would also seemingly reference this in a song Soul Snatcher with Big B, where his entire verse could be seen as a reference to the murder of True Bleeda. Fans would even speculate that Youngboy is actually referencing True Bleeda's killing in his song 4KT Baby, where he describes a car being shot 30 times, much like what actually happened.
Drop them motherfucking songs, cause I'll be loading that shit up right now. Y'all really letting this shit die down too much. I ain't gonna lie. We been stepping shit. We be stepping shit. Oh, our big walk is just in. We seeing like 30 through they quarter. That boy ain't saying shit like that. I think he said we be stepping on shit. No, our big walk. Is that a Subaru?
Graham, devastated at the loss, crying while vowing for revenge.
I'ma fuck over you bitches.
His ops, on the other hand, would actually repost this video and ruthlessly make fun of him. NBA member Herm the Black Sheep would also seemingly reference this in a song Soul Snatcher with Big B, where his entire verse could be seen as a reference to the murder of True Bleeda. Fans would even speculate that Youngboy is actually referencing True Bleeda's killing in his song 4KT Baby, where he describes a car being shot 30 times, much like what actually happened.
They must try to get him for copyright.
A few months after the death of True Bleeda, in April 2022, Debug, real name Demetrion Grimm, was arrested and charged with the
Debug, man!
True Bleeda. In April 2022, Debug, real name Demetrion Grimm, was arrested and charged with the murder and attempts, with an obvious motive being that he was the brother of the murdered US soldier Gmo. Debug was also allegedly a cousin and very close friend of the fallen Vulture rapper YKWHIF, and he had posted many tributes to him on social media following his death. When he was arrested, he was already facing unrelated charges for carrying illegal weapons, as well as being wanted by the police in Texas for money laundering charges. But what would ultimately tie him to the shooting was his DNA that the detectives would end up finding in the car abandoned by shooters at the scene of the crime.
Today, Demetrion Grimm was arrested and charged 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder and 1 count of illegal use of a weapon.
However, in a surprising turn of events, the police could not find enough evidence to formally charge Debug with the shooting, but they would continue to detain him while continuing the investigation. The following April, police in Houston would end up arresting 2 other men in relation to True Bleeda's murder, one named Donald Ray Graves and another Najua Jabari Harris, while they were allegedly caught while helping the smuggling of illegal immigrants. Graves is reportedly a known gang member in Baton Rouge who allegedly purchased one of the cars that was used in the drive-by that killed True Bleeda.
Graves also had a warrant out for his arrest in connection with a targeted deadly shooting near the Mall of Louisiana back in February of 2022 that left 2 teenagers dead.
Harris, on the other hand, is allegedly a known member of the Vultures, known as YKWHIF, with his profile picture on Instagram portraying him together with his fallen friend Carr. However, since these arrests, Debug has seemingly been released from jail and is living his best life, proudly labeling himself the Grim Reaper on Instagram, a play on his last name, Grimm. So, whether law enforcement will actually be able to prove who exactly was behind this gruesome drive-by still remains a big question mark, and justice still hasn't been delivered. Who exactly was behind this gruesome drive-by still remains a big question mark, and justice still hasn't been delivered almost 2 years after these shocking events that rocked Baton Rouge. And in the meantime, the dissing has continued on both sides of the war. In the summer of 2023, Say Cheese would post their interview with Real Bleeda, where he addresses his beef with NBA. Real Bleeda and his partners would go on to claim that the videos on YouTube all about the war are cap, but also that they don't watch those videos. However, when asked if they knew the NBA guys growing up,
they contradicted themselves right there. If they cap, how you know they cap?
Bleeda chimes in on the conversation, declaring with a huge smile on his face that Ben 10 was his best friend growing up.
Hey, you know that Ben 10 was like my best friend, you hear me?
Damn, word.
That was my best friend.
Like growing up type?
My real best friend, my right hand man.
This trolling wouldn't go unnoticed by Ben 10 himself, who would respond a few months later in his song Right or Wrong, claiming not to know him. Elsewhere in the song, 10 would also respond a few months later in his song
Bitch nigga wanna speak on me in that interview. Bitch, I don't know you, nigga.
right or wrong, claiming not to know him. Elsewhere in the song, Tem would also throw shots at Real Bleeda, who had told in the same Say Cheese interview that he received $170,000 compensation after the death of his mother when he was younger, with Ben mocking him, saying he's only got money because his mother's in the...
That other little bitch I was talking, you really got money because she in the
ground. For now, it looks like the death of True Bleeda is yet another case in the long list of unsolved killings that highlight the out-of-control tragedy playing out on the streets of Baton Rouge, as well as being yet another example of an extremely talented tragedy playing out on...
Man, that ain't Baton Rouge, man. That is not Baton Rouge, cuz. Man, Baton Rouge do not look like this. This shit look like Baltimore or some shit. This shit look up north, East Coast. This ain't Baton Rouge, my brother. I'm sorry. I don't know where the fuck you got this from. But number one, on no street in Baton Rouge got all these fucking tall ass buildings on it. We got houses, bro. We down south. Like, you ain't even seeing no motherfucking grass. That shit ain't like that in Baton Rouge.
On the streets of Baton Rouge, as well as being yet another example of an extremely talented rap artist who lost their life way too soon due to gang-related violence. I really hope that going forward, all the young men and women of Baton Rouge, and beyond, can stay safe, stay out the streets, and find success doing something more positive.
I hope your coke bottle glass wearing ass learn how to pronounce these niggas' names if you gonna be doing videos, speaking on some shit you don't know nothing about. And number two, bitch react to my shit. I'm putting on for that wreck. Casper reacts. I'm putting on for that motherfucking wreck, nigga. Say these niggas' names right. I don't know these niggas, but I'ma have they back, nigga. And they go for all these niggas. The Vultures, the Bleedas on this YouTube shit, I got y'all back. Ain't no nigga gonna be pronouncing y'all name wrong like that. They go for all y'all. They go for TBG. They go for NBA. They go for the whole Baton Rouge. We ain't letting this shit go down like that. Nigga pronouncing niggas' name wrong in that racketeering. Be getting on their ass and getting their motherfucking mind right. So y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, suggest, man. Catch me in the next reaction.